What's going on there? Today I have another indie title to review, one by the name of Ereban Shadow Legacy. Completely flew under my radar too. I was searching for a game thinking I'd have to wait, but this one popped up on April 10th and I knew I had to do it. You play as Ayana, who is the last Ereban alive and has no recollection of anyone associated with her. So to learn anything, she tries to become an agent for Helios, a corporation using the sun for energy to stop the crisis at hand. This corporation also has a giant target on its back. Ayana quickly learns mostly why Helios has enemies as she is captured and then immediately rescued by the deemed terrorist group, the Forgotten Sons. By aiding this group of oppressed people, Ayana aims to uncover what Helios' real goal is and what happened to her people. There's a few things with this story that I don't think are going to sit well with some people. Overall, it is a fascinating story when it starts out, and then it's going to grip you some more once you learn a little bit of the truth behind everything. However, it is slower paced. It's going to take a while to really understand what's going on, and at times, Ayana is going to be just as confused as you with how some of these events are unraveling. But when it does click with her, sometimes it's still going to feel puzzling, which is where her monologues come to use, because I think without that, I would have been lost at sea with some of the stuff that was going on. I think the writing was just a tad off, and you will understand the story, but not in the way they had hoped. Because like I said, without Ayana talking to herself, you would be lost. There's also some plot holes and complete lack of common sense with the characters, and it's not intentionally put there either. Like, the writing team forgot what was said moments ago, and now you're scratching your head thinking, did you not reread any of this? Let's take this clip for example.
She's gone dark. Speaking of dark, I will be offline when we relocate. I hope you find your answers. Good luck.
Set, can you hear me? Great. Looks like I'm going in alone.
This is what I mean, complete disregard for previous dialogue. And there's also a plot hole that's involved with this specific video that I've shown, and it baffles me. I mean, I know why they did it, but there is a more creative way to go about it. The gameplay is as straightforward as it gets, and the more you go on, the more you're going to want to ask the devs, why didn't you implement this sooner for an even better experience? But we'll get to that in a second. So the game is advertised as a fast-paced stealth game, and I'm here to tell you that's not what it is. You're going to sneak around taking out Helios robots with your one attack while sticking to the shadows to avoid any unwanted attention. You're also going to unlock different skills that'll aid you into a, I don't want to say more diverse playstyle, but I guess we'll say diverse, such as the shadow blind that'll deprive the enemies of vision, allowing you to slip by or take them down, or the landmine that puts them in a shock state, thus allows you, again, to slip by or incapacitate them. Now, while I do feel for the most part that the skills have the same effect, there are some that'll save your life, such as the Shadow Doom. Once grabbed, it'll allow you to evade and kill the enemy that grabbed you, or the temporary defense that repels enemies and gives you a running chance, because these robots are going to outrun you, and you're not going to be able to turn into your shadow form because they have a light, and it's going to stop you from transforming. So while most gadgets usually have the same effects, others are going to stop you from perishing, and they're extremely handy. The other thing we have is platforming. Now the way it works here is you become a shadow orb that can climb walls, but only while you're shrouded by darkness. So once light hits you, it drains that energy, and now you're back to your human form. Most of the platforming is going to be things like climbing up the side of a building or following shadows of different objects, allowing you to avoid the light so you can get to the next area, or riding an object on some form of railed system. Then we have a couple jump to pit areas. Not many, but a few, and some of them can and will be avoided in the more carefully designed levels because you're going to have a few ways you can get to your objective. I want to say this about the jumping parts. If you fall somewhere like I'm showing above right here in the video, you are dead, and you have to restart from the last checkpoint. There's no grabbing a ledge if you miscalculate. My friend, you are dead. But for 9/10 of the game, you're just going to be in shadow orb form, climbing on whatever's in the way. It can be a fun way to traverse areas, that I'm not going to deny. But I am going to say that halfway through the game, like almost finished, they're going to throw in better ideas of platforming, and they're more fun than what we had for the first 3 quarters. This is also when the puzzles start to play a role in the gameplay, and it reminds me a lot of how whenever you're watching a movie, you can pick out the scene that the entire film was built around. That's how I felt about the ending of Ereban. It made everything else seem filler just to get up to that point because the level designs were planned better for the type of game that they wanted it to be. It was way more fun, but it's just such a small part of the game that it just doesn't matter. Alright, lastly, this is just something for people to understand. They say play however you want. Now, what that entails is more geared towards lethal or non-lethal, and that only counts towards the humans working for Helios. Are you going to kill them, or will you let them live? It's not play how you want where you can come in here like IP Man and take everyone toe-to-toe. No, that's not going to happen because one enemy can ruin your day, unless you have one of the skills that I mentioned above, allowing you to escape their grip or stun them long enough to run. The playstyle, it's not really going to change. Either stealth kill or sneak around. Those are your options. And to add with the humans, they're kind of pointless AI in the game. I don't know what their effect is. I mean, maybe one or two might have chased me. I don't remember, and I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I only got chased by robots. But every time I saw a person and they saw me, they would say, "Wait, we're with you," or "Intruder," and nothing came about it. Nobody raised alarms or nothing. I don't know what point they serve other than the deciding factor of lethal or non-lethal. Design-wise, this cel-shaded game looks nice, but more so when it's in the less open areas. In the latter half of the game, that's when you're going to get to go into the town, the ships, and the temples, and they have diverse assets that help everything feel fresh, keeping your attention. The openness of the game is where you're going to see the bland slap a sticker here and call it a day kind of work. Now, at first, I thought this game would have been semi-relatable to Gravity Rush, but they used the full map for that game, not here. The small areas you can explore is nothing more than jagged rocks and emptiness that adds a few minutes to gameplay just so it doesn't feel any shorter, or at least that's my take on it. Other than that, though, it's fine. The music is fine. It does the job, but it's nothing noteworthy, and it's not going to make you feel any kind of way or help dramatize the story. So, here's some clips for you to judge.
Sim has been neutralized.
Make Helios pay for their lies.
Overall, I think this game is worth $10 out of $25. It's a fun game when it wants to be, but sadly, most of that enjoyment is going to come from the back half. And I think that's where all the focus went, and the beginning is just there to say it's a full game. Like I said, it's not bad, it's just not good. These devs have a lot of potential, and this is a start. A more carefully designed game, and you have a winner. So if you love stealth-only games, check it out on sale. But for me, I think the best route that they could have taken, slim down the open areas, make it smaller like the first town you come across with a few routes to take, add more puzzles and better platforming in the earlier portions of the game, and I think you have something better on your hands. But that's all I got to say about this game. I will see y'all soon.